Would you guys like to win the lottery?
Well, sure.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I've heard it causes a lot of problems, but
Would you like to win the lottery?
more money,
Yeah.
more problems.
Okay.
Did we? Is there? I mean,
That would be
is this a
fantastic.
surprise or?
No, you got, what is it? They always say you got to play to,
Pay to play?
not pay to play. What's the thing they say?
Play to win?
You can't win if you don't play or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Would you guys play the lottery?
No.
I've bought lottery tickets with
Oh, really?
yeah, with a big group
Good.
of people from work.
Okay.
Like everybody pitched in, and then the idea was that like whatever tickets the group pitched in to buy would share it. I mean, I think the last big lottery winners was a group of 5 people who, in the department, everybody gave $1 or something, as like a team building fun thing to do.
And then they won the jackpot and they got,
Yeah, and they split it between the 5 people.
yeah, and the government.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The 60% or 40% that goes to the government.
I mean, whatever astronomical number it is. I mean, what do you guys think of the lottery?
I think it's interesting because it is a way. So, like public lotteries, you're talking about like government lotteries.
I'm talking just any lottery.
I'm suspicious. Strong's
Yeah, you're-
grin on
you're
his face is
acting
just way
weird.
too
No,
big.
I'm not. I'm just. This is just a question. So, what do you guys think about the lottery? Like, is it like a good thing? It's like,
Like
oh yeah,
Arizona State Lottery.
people have the opportunity to like win money and like, yeah, it's whatever, a couple bucks, no big deal. Like, oh no, it's the devil, it's gambling. Like, what do you guys think about it?
I think as a revenue stream for governments, I think it's better than taxation.
It's voluntarily giving
you're
money.
Oh, that's the
You-
route you take. Okay.
Yeah, because you're not being forced to do any of it if you don't want to be involved, and you don't involve yourself. But if you do, then you have both the benefits of, some people play the lottery because it's exciting for them. They like watching, whether or not they win the jackpot. Some people do win, and it's a game for them, whatever. And they pay to play the game. But they're voluntarily giving money to the government so the government can up revenues. I think that's more ethical, in my opinion, than taxing somebody without their approval, I guess.
I was just going to say, I think that there is a very interesting and distinct difference between people who play the lottery and don't. And I might only be saying this because I go into like the wrong Circle K at midnight or
Why
whatever.
would you go into a Circle K?
I know, right?
Why would you ever go into a Circle K?
But what's funny is that QT, I don't think they sell as many lottery tickets.
No, I've
if
seen
you
them
go into
sell-
Circle K, people are always standing there with like 10,000 scratcher tickets. And this actually adds to my point because you're much smarter if you go to QT.
That's right.
Okay?
Amen.
So, like, you go to Circle K, you're probably
Right.
You're going to buy a lot of lottery tickets, and I'm not frowning on that. But there is something to be said for the type of person that, like, I don't know. It seems like I noticed that they look like they probably don't have a lot of money, right? And maybe they think this is the only way that I'll ever be rich, and so I have to play the lottery. Just kind of an interesting mental difference between, like, the type of person that would and the type of person that wouldn't play. Like, as far as the principle of it, like, do I believe in the lottery? Do I support it as a revenue stream for government? I honestly could not care less. Like, either way. If you've got one, we've got one. If we don't, we don't. It doesn't bother me either way.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think it's ethically wrong.
okay. So, and I take that point. That's fair. It was a different perspective than how I first looked at it. But for me, it kind of offends me when there's
You're offended?
the biggest jackpot ever tonight at 7 o'clock on the news. And every news channel covers how big the jackpot is as like this weird, like almost like propaganda, like to get people to play.
As soon as it's the biggest of recent, it always grows within like 48 hours to some astronomical number.
And you have all these people putting into a system that ultimately, yeah, somebody gets a payout, but the government always gets a payout every time. And it's not really advertised as like, oh, this is building state, we're getting extra taxes.
Originally, it's supposed to be education. It's not 100% education anymore.
Right.
But go ahead with your...
100% education.
It was supposed to be 100%. The lottery was to fund education, hands down.
But
Now,
they moved it to the general budget.
yeah.
The Arizona State Lottery is.
And I guess if there was a more transparent approach to it, it's not like I'm not I was just sitting there thinking like, playing the lottery, like, it's really just giving the government more money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you're playing a game. I mean, a lot of people go to casinos to gamble and they lose, but they go for the entertainment, for the game, for the rush of maybe winning. Like that's what you're paying for when you go. It's not something that I'm interested in because I'm smarter with my money, I guess.
That is a whole lot of money for a rush like that. I don't know. Just to me.
That's true. I mean, I totally agree with you, but I do think it's better to, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with the lottery. And a lot is like some people say, oh, you're targeting the poor people with the carrot, you know, to say you could get rich, and you're like leading them forward further and further. And yeah, you theoretically could get rich, but those people have the choice to be either doing it or not doing it, and they're choosing to do it. So that choice is totally up to them.
When I was 15, I won't say where I was working at the time, because I don't want anybody to get arrested or anything. All good stories start this way.
So I was at a brothel.
At this particular job, me and a coworker who was old enough to buy scratcher tickets would, every payday, we would both take $5 and we would buy scratcher tickets, except for I wouldn't buy them. He would take my $5 and he'd go in there and he'd buy the scratcher tickets. There were scratcher tickets available at this particular facility where I worked. And we'd go out and we'd scratch them, and we did this for like a month. And that was how long it took me to realize this is stupid. Like, it took me a month at the age of 15 with all the 15-year-old intellect and wisdom that I had to go, this is stupid. Why would anybody keep doing this? And it's just like, I mean, literally $10 every paycheck. And I don't know, we won like $2 or a couple of times we won enough to buy another scratcher ticket. And like we did, and then we didn't get anything.
Personally, I've played the lottery a couple times. Like, you know, the news gets on their little cycle.
Yeah.
Oh, you go play tonight. You only got 5 hours left to go buy a ticket. So, you know, you do the whole splitting, like, oh, I'll pitch in a little bit. But like, thinking about it, I can't condone it. Just because it's like, yeah, you're playing a game, but you're really just putting money in a pot so that the government can grab it.
Yeah. Well, because when you buy a ticket, that whole ticket doesn't go to the lottery. Like, there's like service fees and other things. Like, a percentage of what you pay does go into like the lottery winning, the jackpot. Mm-hmm. And then when you win, whoever wins has to pay all the income taxes. So it's like, they get you coming and going, as governments usually do with taxation.
Well, and it only goes, it's something like after like service fees and however much. I don't know if stores pay to have the lottery in there or if they have to pay. I don't know how it works, but whatever. It's supposed to be an even split between half goes to the jackpot and half goes to the state fund. Used to be education, now it's just the general fund. I think. Well,
you're saying on the because I was only basing it off of the payout, the tax you get on your winnings. Mm-hmm. But you're saying even before that, half of it goes.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's even more offensive to me.
it's a 50-50.
Yeah.
So if you buy a $1 lottery ticket, 50 cents goes to the jackpot, 50 cents goes to used to be education. Now I think it's the general fund. Are you okay, buddy?
like just don't. Why? Why would people do this?
I don't know.
For the dream of being rich.
I honestly think it's I don't know. They're poor and they think it's the only way that they'll ever get rich.
It's like they're one.
Rich people don't play the lottery. I don't think. I've never. I mean, even like upper middle class people don't play the lottery. I've never known an upper middle class person that played the lottery
consistently. Probably, yeah. I'm sure statistics would back you up on that.
Yeah, it's generally people at the bottom that they're fully convinced that this is the only way that they'll ever get rich, and then they walk home and have a great idea and think that somebody should invent that, and they do nothing about it. So maybe they're right. Maybe. I honestly think everybody has $1 million idea at some point in their life, and people just underestimate themselves and don't believe in themselves. But that's just, my thinking.
Yeah,
I have a lot of trust in people and a lot of belief in people. I mean, I don't know. It varies from day to day.
I was going to say, trust in people. I think you have a lot of belief in people. The trust in people.
Yeah, you're right. I don't trust people at all. Thank you for correcting me, Adam. Actually, trust people very, very little.
But if there's a program that's a voluntary tax, I would say if that can be a prevalent program where you can eliminate some of the mandatory taxes, that'd be fantastic.